show. Every which way you go. You drink us with a beer, man, stick us in your ear, and we'll be right by your heart. It's a good job, buddy, show. Have a seat, there you go. Stick your thumbs in the air anywhere that you dare, and you be doing your part. It's a good job, buddy, show. Alright. There's that. Okay, man, this is day number 1 with Amber back, and we're having scheduling problems. So Amber really was going to bed like at 9:30, 10 o'clock for a while. She's getting up at 6 o'clock. And so like yesterday we drug her all the way out. I drug her out. That was my bad on that one. I drug her all the way out, and she was pretty exhausted, but she got up this morning at 7 and has been going ever since. We're making Mexican food right now. I might even pull myself up and take y'all in to see my creation. How I make this bean dip. This bean dip. So any Mexican restaurant you like, think about them. They're like, they are so good. Nobody's better than them, right? Think about that. Think about them right now. I'm better, or at least as good at making bean dip with cheese. So, how you doing, buds? I saw you were getting some flack. Let's get to this flack giving shit that we're doing on this. This is I'm gonna reach right into the body and pull the fucking tumor out, and it's called opinion. The big tumor of opinion has gotten at all of us, and now we can sum up a person's entire life based on an opinion that they have derived based on very little information. How old are we again? You don't see cases where they are convicted of something and then they go back and they get a little less, and possibly even 2 weeks thing. You might have another court date nobody knows about where he's going to get a little something else taken off. This could just go. It could be. Who knows? I don't know if it's even case closed. I called today. I called Imperial County today. Let me see if I can, because I know there's some doubters. See if I can prove this. Because I don't know. No, I really can't. Oh, no, I'm not gonna. Okay, there's too many numbers on there that I can't just accidentally. I've had problems with that sometimes. So. Anyway, I called, and for the information on that case right now, it's $16 just to begin, and then I think she said 50 cents every page after. She might have said 10 cents though, and there is that. So, but to me, that didn't matter as much as there is some stuff available. Any one of us can inquire, and so she gave me the email address. In fact, I'll read the email address out so that anyone who would like to inquire can do so. I'm not. This isn't me trying to, you know, get to the thing quicker than somebody else. Nope, I'm not going to show that either because I sent that to somebody that I don't. I'm not going to do that. So anyway, I got the email address, and it's easy to get the email address, and that's where you send your request to. Just go to the Imperial County website. It's really pretty easy. It was like something I wanted to do, but also I hoped that someone else would do in the meantime. I thought that if you were going to try to prove something about someone, you would want to go get that shit. You want to say, look, this is what they got. Look, they had DNA here and they did this and that there or whatever, right? So kind of how I thought it would be, but apparently, thanks, Boognish. Slab City News. What's up, E? She is so. God. When her face popped out of the Uber, couldn't talk. looking at me and waving right now. She is just shiny and bright and beautiful in every way. Honestly, man, just her coming home makes me think about like I don't know if I was looking at this song earlier. See if I can try to see things my way. Only time will tell if I am right or I am wrong. I want to see things your way. I don't know the words of this goddamn fucking song, but we can work it out. We can work it out. Life is very short, and there's no time fussing and fighting. I have always thought it's a crime. I don't know, man. I don't know, but we can work it out. We can work it out. All we gotta do is see the evidence. God dang, how hard is that? I'll put this out there. Most people don't accept this. This is not something that people want any of. Like, oh, I do. And well, hold on. It says copy the clipboard. I did that. Okay. I would like to leave there. I hope I do that right. Amber is awesome, man, and she has no real opinion about what all of this whole shit is. I'm glad she's definitely got her thing going. So glad. I'm glad to have some, even though they're staring at me through the glass right now. I mean, they literally are. I'll show you. This is my mother-in-law. But I mean, I got all the privacy in the world, and man, come on, this is my man cave for now. That's we get. We have share. It's a timeshare. So yeah, so I'm not trying to say it's a free Mike Dibble show. That's not what I'm trying to say. I am really just trying to say to get to the evidence show. We can do that. I was told through a pretty reliable source Nikki was going to be doing that. And so if she did, she can do a video, contact me or whatever. For some reason, every time I type in Nikki, I'll show you right here, I'll show you because I think I'm friends with Evan. It's so weird. This is so weird, by the way. Because like just 6 months ago, you were friends with Evan and I was fighting with him. We stayed friends. And now I'm friends with him and you're fighting with him. We got to stay friends, you know. I'm gonna show you. Watch this. You ready? So, all right, home, and then I'm gonna refresh it to the freshest screen I got. Heartbreaking. Child dies. Parents severely burned. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe not that one then. Here, just this thing here. Okay. So we're just on this page here, right? There we are. We're just hanging out on some YouTubes, looking at the YouTubes. So I'm gonna go ahead and I want to go see Nikki. Watch this. Boom. I'll look up Nikki. I'm gonna wait for it to load. It's Vicky and Nikki, but then look at this. I just want to show you. It never comes up. It looks like Vicky and Nikki have made 800,009 million videos, and this goes on forever. Like fucking, eating ice cream in the middle of the night. Just there it is. So I have your link, but that's the only way I get over to you. So if you could let me know when you get that info, that and maybe send me a link. I like to watch. I like to see what you got. I'd like to, let us all examine it. Let's do that. I want it to be seen by everybody. You would think that somebody would want to just do that and then have the info to, get the views or whatever. But nobody's really interested, and that's what's cool about this. Is like everybody's real intentions are coming out here right now. Community Cause is a fucking judge or something. Cause knows so much about the law that he had to run away from Babylon because he was going to eventually be the president. He was just, God damn, I'm so fucking knowledgeable. I have to get out of here now. What's up, my man?
How are
There
you,
we
sir?
are. God damn, boy. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too. Isn't it funny how, like you said, 6 months ago, you and I were fighting, and me and Nikki were actually married on the internet, and now
Yeah.
we're married,
Yeah.
and Nikki and I
Yeah.
are fighting.
So weird. If anybody follows this shit, it doesn't make fucking sense at all. 6 months at a time, it doesn't make sense. Just wait 6 months from now and watch what's fucking going on. It'll be so ridiculous. 5 more of us will be living in the slabs.
Yeah, me, you, and Nikki will be married in real life in 6 months. We'll have a
Yeah.
castle on the slab. Like, did you know this was
Expecting,
gonna happen?
expecting children. And
Yeah,
then,
I'll be
Tally's wife
pregnant by
will be pregnant.
Nikki. Nikki will get me pregnant in 6 months.
Yeah. And Tally will leave his wife, Nikki. And you two will have like a fucking love triangle. Because remember how much Tally hated Nikki?
Yeah,
Tally started the
I
shit.
know. Oh my
Tally,
God.
he's the one that booted her from the 3-3.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, their hatred was the strongest out of anybody's in the community. Nikki and
Yeah,
Tally's.
man. It was like, where did that change along the line to the way it is now? Is solely based on information that none of us have.
That's it.
we
That's it.
we are in a spot right now where we're arguing over shit we don't know about for sure. We know what he was sentenced to, but those are like little packages, like pre-made stockings for Christmas, right? We don't know exactly what these kids want, but we put a bunch of shit in there. Well, and that was probably a really bad example, but that's what they do. When you have a sentence that is, whatever the number, they recommend I forget what it's called, but they recommend all these things for them to do. It's just part of the sentence. It doesn't tell the story. This over here is the black and white that, we don't get to see what led to it. That's what I want to see, is the shit that led to it. If there's a body cam footage from the exact moment that Mike arrived out of his truck from when he was live streaming, like immediately, I want to see that. I want to see his reaction in an interview and interrogation. And I want to see the paperwork and the evidence and anything unredacted that we can see.
I agree. We need to go over it from front to back, Eddie, and you're 100% correct. We need to go over with a fine tooth comb and not Mike's side of it. Now let's just, agree to agree that me and you both think that child molestation is the most horrible thing on the planet. Just
I
because we
mean,
want to see paperwork.
right? Who the fuck's gonna sign off on that? Who's like, man, a little bit of child molestation. I mean, that's not what we're
Yeah,
saying here. I'm saying there's a really good chance Mike Dibble didn't do a thing but have a camp where he got charged for that, and maybe there's other people, that we don't know. He says that he's taking responsibility for providing the camp where kids may have been hurt. So there's a story in there that may not fucking actually, he's taking the blame for it because it's his camp. That's what I'm saying. Man, I talk too much. I talked your channel into a fucking buffer. That's what I did. Oh, I gotta. Man, are you gonna be able to come back? Let me think here. You gotta think on your feet now, man. You gotta. Okay. I'm gonna take you down for a second, and then bring you back up, and then there you are. Boom.
Hey, am I back
Awesome.
now?
Yeah, you're back. Hey, I gotta
Yeah,
mix my.
so
I gotta mix my beans, and I'm listening on my phone. So I'm gonna pause
okay.
me and give you my floor for a few.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my man.
Yep. So I'm just gonna reiterate the situation that Eddie and I, uh, we both agree that child molestation is the most horrible thing that you could do. And we are not defending Mike at all. And just because Mike does not have to register, it doesn't change the minds of some people, you know? So I do make videos to make people mad about, oh, I love you now, Mike. I do that to piss people off and it works. Now, what Eddie and I are talking about is just getting the paperwork and reading what's going on, because here's what's happened. If you don't have to register um, as a sex offender, that means there was nothing sexual done, uh, or there wasn't enough evidence to charge him. And that's what we want to see. Where was the ball dropped? I don't support Mike in this situation. I love Mike as a friend, but I don't respect these crimes if he committed them. You know, I care about Mike. I care about his safety. Um, but I won't follow him down that road, and nobody will, because it's disgusting as fuck. But what is more disgusting is the way that people are acting and lumping people into a just a class of people that are pedo supporters when we're just supporters of seeing the black and white. And that's how I think everyone should lean towards that. And it takes a lot to sit back and have people say all this shit. And when we just want to get to the black and white, the nitty gritty, that's all we're trying to do. We don't support chomos. We're not fucking chomo sympathizers. But it's a cancel culture right now on the internet. And it went from you're a Nazi now to you're a fucking chomo defender. So it's just words, man. You know, you gotta have tough skin to be on there. I understand that. But once again, I'm gonna reiterate, I do not follow Mike down that road of sexual predatorness. That's disgusting. But what is more disgusting is the way some of these people are acting online. You know, and I do love Mike as a friend, but if it comes out that, you know, everything is leaning towards that way, then I will disavow him. But until then,
Uh,
none of us know what happened. You
Susie,
guys can
Susie,
assume, we can assume anything.
Susie has a perfect statement here. She says, "It's my question to everyone in this room. I can put it up there. Why am I not doing that? Look at me. Boom. Um, uh, if you have children, if somebody pled guilty to the charges he pled guilty to, would you still let your children run around with him? I don't think so. But that's not what we're arguing here, though. That's not. I'm really not trying to argue. I'm just trying to say, I don't want. I'm not saying I want the man at my house. I'm saying, uh, and that's based on just the charges that he pled guilty to. You're right. I'd like to see why he pled guilty to that. Is what I'm trying to say. And hopefully that answers that. I want to leave that there because I can't figure out how to take it down. You got to roll to it. That's
Hi.
What's going on, Angie? How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really good.
You're glowing.
Thank you.
Everyone missed you, and we're all glad to see you back.
I'm glad to be back. But I did the most important thing I could have ever done in my life. Save my life.
Yeah, I've been in the same position with opiates myself, and did the methadone, and then did Suboxone, and then went cold turkey after that. But it's the hardest
Holy Jesus.
to give up something that you absolutely love. Like opiates made me feel like the best friend was inside me when I would do it. And,
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
That's a good description.
Man, that's almost trigger description.
Well, I just wanted to pop on and say
that description was so good. It was like, oh god, man, yes.
I just wanted to come say hello to you because I didn't get to call you back tonight. And I got to go in because it's past my bedtime again.
I'm about to mix those beans though. You gotta
Stay up later than me.
Yeah, we'll talk. I'm in and out of the national forest, in and out of service. So once I get good, I'll hit you up.
Okay.
All right. See you, everyone. I said hello to everyone in the chat, and it was good chatting with you and seeing your face, Evan.
Yeah.
All right.
In a year, Evan's gonna be married to Amber. And I'm gonna be on the and Nikki will be my fucking YouTube wife.
I know, that's funny.
I'm about to spin.
I want to be married to Angie Talley, and then have like Sean as our pool boy.
I mean, it's possible. It's actually possible.
That is possible.
Everything's possible in this community, man. I saw. Did you? Oh, are you all right with letting Tyke up?
Yeah, man, I'm cool. I would be cool with Fakers No More coming up.
Anybody? Yeah, okay.
Anybody.
Yeah, and I think Vinny might be down here, and I know Vinny's not feeling good. So let's see. It could be a fake Vinny, so I got to make sure. Vinny. Yeah, it's him. Maybe. I don't know. That could be a recording device. Oh, it's him. What up, Vinny?
Hey, what up?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
I haven't seen you guys in a while. I'm in the hospital again. What else you doing right now? I practically live here. So
how many days you been there?
I got a heart monitor on now.
What happened exactly?
I've been sick for a while, and I've been gagging and stuff. I had a perforated stomach ulcer, and they picked up a heart murmur in me today too. So that's why I hooked up the heart monitor thing.
Oh no! Well,
Yeah.
shoot, I hope you feel better.
Thanks, Evan.
How long you been in there for?
Yo, Vinny. Vinny, you all right there? Oh man, this is not cool. Vinny.
He froze up.
Hey, I mean, that could still not be the real Vinny. That could be somebody who played a video of Vinny. But he was answering our questions, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like it. Yeah, he did. That was real Vinny. He just froze, man. Yeah, that's all.
Apologies, hospital Wi-Fi.
Man, you are a soldier, dude. Having a high spirits. That's really cool, bro. I mean, you got to keep them spirits high.
I know. So Amber, I said, welcome back too.
Absolutely, bro. She's right here. I'm going to spin the beans and let her come out and say, hey, come here, hold on.
All right, no problem. Hey, you been tight?
Good. How are you? Well, I would say how are you, but I'm sure you've had better days.
That's true. That is really true.
Are you breathing all right now?
Yeah, I had a tube in me and everything, dude. It's down my throat and everything. That's why I'm talking the way I am.
How long you been in there?
Just about 3-4 days now.
Oh man, are you eating any like solid food yet, or just all soft
Uh,
and
Broth. They're giving me broth and stuff like that.
Hi guys.
Hey, Amber, welcome back.
Hey Willie, thank you. How are you?
Billy.
I didn't know what.
Vinny.
Vinny. I've been in a I haven't been in society for a while, so sorry. Eddie
I
just
know.
told me that.
Welcome back. We
I don't know
all
why.
missed you.
Thank you.
We all missed you so much.
It was wonderful when I talked to Eddie and he'd tell me that you guys, ask about me or, just tell her we said hello. So that meant a lot because support is what I need. And
Yeah, I haven't really been on either. I've been sick a lot, so
that's
as you see, I can see in the background, I'm in the hospital right now.
That's what he told me. What's going on?
I had a heart murmur. It was detected today, and I couldn't. I was gagging and stuff like that, and throwing up.
Oh my gosh!
It was a perforated stomach ulcer.
Wow. Are you starting to feel better?
I feel a little bit better. I'm still keeping up my funniness and joking around, but
Well, I'm glad you're in the hospital. It's the best place for you. And I hope
Yep.
you have a speedy and fast recovery.
Thank you.
Thank you for wanting to say hi to me. It's really,
No
really
problem.
nice to be back. And waking up today at my house and feeling the way I did was wonderful. I was in Harris Teeter and I felt okay. And I can tell, Eddie said some people know just by him the way he would say where I am. Like he wouldn't say where I was, but say, like she's got 2 more weeks to go and then she'll be back with us, Days.
So
whatever.
glad you're back. Yes, it is awesome.
Oh my God. Hold on. I didn't mean to interrupt
Guess
you.
what? Right now.
Okay. So, do you all remember when I'm guessing he told you guys that the dishwasher broke here?
Yeah,
Anybody remember that? Okay.
that was a while ago.
All right. And they've been hand washing the dishes ever since. And my mom forgets every day and comes out and says, "Are the dishes dirty or clean?" And he's like, "It's broken." She said, "You'd already tell me that." And she's like, 5 times in the last hour. So I was like, all right, because I just couldn't keep. I wasn't trying to deal with the problems here while I was taking care of myself. So when I got home, I knew what was probably the problem, but I didn't think about it really because I didn't think about it at all until he mentioned something a couple days before I left. And then I realized, I bet I know what it is. And if I do, I'm going to be very grateful because we're not going to have to replace the dishwasher. All right. So,
Right.
right above the sink, to the right, there's a little switch, and on and off. And then under that's the switch for the lights that go above the cabinets. And the switch went, "Oh," and the dishwasher was turned off. So when I came home, I went, "Oh," and he said, "Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't believe it's working. Oh my God, Amber. Oh my gosh." Yeah. And it's just funny because the little things that he was worried about, I've immediately found the answer to, and things he was looking for. I'm like, "Oh, I know right where that is. Oh, okay. I know right, And he's like, "Man, oh man." So that was pretty funny. But it isn't broken. It is it's oh, that was funny. So it just wasn't on. It wasn't on. I mean, hello. Sometimes in the world when we turn things off, they have to be turned back on. But it was just a guy thing that he didn't even think about, apparently. And then he said, "Why couldn't you just told me that? It would take 30 seconds."
Good job, buddy. Get on the ball, buddy.
That was good. And what was I going to say? I was just going to say something. Uh, I went to Harris Theater today and I was looking at the nicotine patches. They're $49.99. I did not realize they were that expensive. And
Wow.
I don't want to smoke. We don't have the money right now for me to get them. And so I
Right.
have to unfortunately smoke until we get our next paycheck.
Yeah, they
But
told me I can't drink coffee anymore.
you know what?
At least they told me I can't drink coffee now for the next couple weeks.
Oh my gosh. That's a tough one too, huh?
Oh yeah,
You get
I
used
love my
to it.
coffee.
Oh, I have been enjoying coffee lately. However, I've been drinking placebo coffee. I found out on day 25 that it was decaf. So when I would run up to get seconds, I was getting seconds of decaffeinated coffee, and I'm like,
Right.
"How did I know this? Who did give that away?" And that's kind of funny. So now I've got regular coffee to drink at the house, not decaffeinated.
Folgers in your cup.
And I don't know what I was saying because I still get lost when I'm saying. I still try and talk from point A to point B, and I go through the alphabet, and then I swing back around and land on my point. But anyway, I'm just so happy to be home, and I'm happy to be able to get on this stream and say hello to everyone. For 30 days, I can only talk. I'm sure he told you this. I can only have two 15-minute phone calls for the entire week, and
wow.
I was like, oh my god, I don't know how I'm going to do that. But because at the first hospital I was at, we were allowed to use the phone. There were times it wasn't on, but we could call however many times we wanted, and we had 15 minutes, each call.
Mm.
Then I went from that to I could make 2 phone calls a week, and that was 15 minutes each, so 30 and half an hour for me to talk to anybody. And
Wow.
so I was like, I guess I could do 5 minutes with Eddie, 5 minutes with Dempsey, 5 minutes with my mom. But believe it or not, Eddie always has to keep saying one thing, and my mom just keeps going on. So I just really only talk to my mom like 2 times in a month, and I talk to Eddie 2 times a week. But so that was tough. But I did it. I made through it. Made through everything. I'm not. I almost feel silly to say, I'm 43 days sober because it's going to take a while for me to gain respect back from you all. To believe that I'm going to fall.
You never lost my respect, Amber. You never did. You always been a cool person.
Well,
I
thank you.
never dissed you or anything like that.
Thank you. Yeah, and it just
Much
didn't happen
respect here.
when I made the decision. I mean, on the 30th of July, I just plummeted, and I was just so disgusted with it, so tired of it, and so I did make that choice on my own. And even when I asked Eddie to please call for an ambulance to take me to the hospital, he would not do it because I know now why, because later in life, if we get into some argument or some fight, I'm like, you're the one that called, you're the reason why I had to go through that. That's never going to be an option because I picked up the phone call. I made the call.
Hopefully that never happens.
What?
Hopefully that never happens.
Right.
At all.
Got my Space Camp shirt on.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Let's see.
Amber belongs in NASA.
Okay. And I didn't do that making it just look like what it just looked like. I was not showing off anything but the t-shirt.
You never said anything.
But I really did go to Space Camp when I was 10. So the shirt is from when I was 10. It's almost 31 years old. So my birthday is in a
That's
couple
awesome.
weeks.
That's your
Yeah, I got this. This was the shirt I got at Space Camp when I got there, and we got our hats that the color of our visors told which group we were in, and we all got this shirt, and I got it. And for whatever reason at 10, I like to wear bigger shirts back then, I guess. And so yeah, it's 31 years old. It's awesome. But anyway, I am gonna quit smoking, and I'm really looking forward to quitting. And A lot of people are like, switch to the vape, not on here. Whoever's chatting right now.
Oh, that's something too. They told me I had to quit for a couple weeks, maybe 2 months. They told me I can't smoke weed for 2 months.
It's all right. You're gonna be healthy.
Yeah.
All right, Eddie's back out, and I gotta switch because I'm getting to the point now. Oh God, here comes the bean dip challenge. Dun 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 dun.
Oh, chips.
Gotta get in there a little bit. There you go.
Chips
Where are you,
and
baby?
dip.
Where are you, beans?
Yeah,
There
you
you
gotta
go.
get 'em,
Look
get
at those
'em.
beans. I'm
Gotta
getting
get 'em,
get 'em,
gotta
get 'em,
get
get 'em,
'em.
get 'em, get 'em.
Oh my God.
All right.
Get 'em
It's
warm
so
up,
warm.
get it good.
What are you gonna do? Oh my God, what are you gonna do with it? Oh my God. I
It
can't
looks
believe
good.
it's going in there. Right? There it goes. Oh, it went.
Get it, girl. Yeah.
It's
It's really good, but
There
it's
you
bitch hot.
It's on my
Right, thank
phone.
you. Oh God.
Awesome.
All right, I'm gonna go put it back in here.
Okay.
What?
All right.
And I'll switch with you.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to stay here, but I guess I've got a little bit of updates that there's some craziness going on in this community and in Slab City,
Of
and
course. Of
I
course.
didn't think that would change.
This
Eddie's the bad
community
guy
not change.
again. That didn't change. Eddie's gonna drop the
Always
link.
been.
Huh?
You got King Evan over there. What is that awesome video earlier with the balling? That was awesome, dude. I love that video.
What's
By the
that?
way, your baller video at
Oh, seeing
90,000 or 9,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty nice.
Amber, I know I'm just a
selfie
stranger
voice.
to you, but my name's Tyke, and I want to say this: regardless of what's gone on in the last 40 days, 43 days, congratulations to you for every second, every minute, and every day that you have.
Amen,
Thank
Tyke.
But in regards to the community craziness, I think the only valid thing that really is truly valid in like real life is how crazy your husband is in love with you. And for an outsider to see, to assume how long you guys have been together, to know firsthand how hard making that decision, being apart from your family, going through the struggles being apart, and to even hear his voice from the first sight of seeing you, I think that's the most relevant part of it. And I wish you guys nothing but the best. And you guys are a good team.
And I've seen you a bunch of times, but I had never chatted with you, so thank you. I feel like I do know you, and I appreciate that. And being away for 40 also was such a great way. And Jose Sanders can chill out on dropping the link if he doesn't want to be here. Bye, not my problem. I don't know how to drop the link. However, it was like almost like the ultimate test too. Were my feelings so strong for him that I had butterflies in my stomach talking to him a few days before I came home. I had butterflies in my stomach when I pulled in the Uber. So, it was like that reassuring, yeah, this is the win for you. And the way he has been with me, and he said the same thing. We both took that's almost a month and a half apart. And I've never spent one night away from him prior to that, nor Dempsey, but we're going on 12 to 13. 7th year anniversaries around the corner. So it's so good. I feel like I think I saw it. Somebody said it's like a honeymoon. I kind of feel like that. It's not like he looks really different, but the way I feel is making him. He talks to me in a different tone, and it's happy, joyous, and free. I'm gonna use one cliches, but it's cool, and I'm happy, and I really appreciate that, Tyke. And thank you, Red Road Homestead, and Jay Warren. I don't know how to drop a link. Eddie's coming back out in just a minute. All right, here he is. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. This guy. All right, y'all. I gotta go. It was very nice
Welcome
talking to
back.
you. And thank you.
Much respect. Much respect.
Okay, that was my husband's butt.
I don't know that stuff.
That's Eddie's butt.
How about it?
And what'd you say? I'm sorry. Did they say something?
I just said much respect to you.
All right. Well, I love you all, and it was good seeing you. I'm trying to focus more at staring at the camera. Has it worked out better? Instead of me looking at me talking.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
All right, cool. All right, I gotta go to see my baby boy. He's mama's boy. Let me tell you that. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you soon.
Jam. Bye.
Bye
Awesome.
bye.
Thanks,
See ya.
partner.
Don't say bye bye. Say see ya.
You gotta just get in them beans.
Get a roomie too. Get a room. Good job, buddy.
I got stuck. I couldn't stop eating them. They're that good, man. Just chipping the bean dip, bro. That's all I did. Oh my
That's
god.
awesome.
I was in there telling her, I'm like, I am literally running a live stream right now. And I hope to God Amber's doing okay because I can't move. Just move.
Oh,
In the
you know
back of
what?
my head, I'm just thinking of January. Like the workout motivation is totally different.
Oh yeah.
Chip and dip, chip and
Yeah.
dip.
Hey, he's on vacation too. So I just figured it out the other day, and it wasn't really anything I did. I just found the right can of beans and the right pre-made cheese, queso, with the right
What kind of
ingredients.
beans did you get?
Put them together, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, it tastes exactly like, if not better than, the stuff at the restaurant, man. So I'm making bowls of it that are this big, Benny.
Oh, dude, I saw that was some shit right there.
I
Yeah,
have eaten a lot of it too. Like this is like the 5th time this week I made it. We only had tacos once.
chips and dip.
And the dishwasher's fixed.
Hey, check this out. It was just a switch. I mean, every day for that entire time, I had to tell her several times a day that it's broken, and I don't know why. I went into the garage. I should have had that videotaped. That could have been a movie. The trip from the front of the garage to the box, and there's a beam. I flipped all the shit around, and nothing was off. I did all that. I went under it. I pulled the thing. I was like, "Is it unplugged?" I just thought it died like everything else, man. The refrigerator lights went out. I did get new lights, but they went out. The oven on the bottom, the rack, the bake coil, it broke. It snapped. Man, everything's breaking around here. We got like our faucets and stuff. Right side of the sink needs to be fixed. And then when you're dealing with someone who forgets that on the daily, it is
Like the Mexican.
Somebody in the chat there was saying something about 2 years. Dude, you have no clue. This has nothing to do with that. So, you're beat.
So, what are you thinking there, Tyke? What's going on with you, man?
Well, the reason why I jumped on was because of the topic that you and Slab City News were talking about, and just like knowing what I've kind of seen with being around, and just put out my 2 cents. And my 2 cents is that it seems that no matter what, some people in the community will always just be discontent, no matter what their situation truly is in life. Their YouTube life overtakes their personal life, and that causes them to always have the anxiety and always have the discontent to where they try to like defocus their own issues onto other things. And that's just my opinion. But in regards to the Dibble thing and seeing how people have totally flipped and flopped with that, like I'm not like raising my hand and say, hey, fucking troll me. But if it helps me being able to tell the truth about something that other people may not be able to see, then I'll say it. So I'll just say this. From the start with Mr. Dibble and me personally, which I always deal with somebody personal, like that's how I get to know him. And he was always upfront with me. He was always honest. He explained like where he stood with the court thing. I had an agreement to take a video down. I've stuck to my agreement, regardless of what has happened in the future from there. Like man to man, from me to him, I just have always just paid him that respect that he paid me by even allowing, with all these allegations and stuff, he's not somebody that is running away from people to ask him questions. He is
Right.
not somebody that's been avoiding the whole topic or anything. And we all have to remember that there's been a lot of things that has occurred from when, my first acknowledgement. And regardless, if you sit somebody in jail for a year or longer, that is not meant for a place for anybody to be in there even for longer than 365 days. That's why they have a prison system. And if that person cannot get a trial, it is the DA's job to prove beyond a reasonable doubt from the time of arraigning somebody of a crime that they are telling the courts that they are ready and prepared to go to trial. It is the defendant that waves the fast and speedy because they want to try to prove their innocence. That's just how the court system goes. But he sat in jail for a long period of time. He took a plea deal. And for him not to, run and stuff like that, like that tells me that he has a story to be heard. But at the same time, fast forward and what I'm seeing and witnessing through YouTube, it actually makes me kind of disgusted that you can Google or you can YouTube history in Slab City, and there's numerous people that have ran from the law and went to Slab City throughout the years. Even currently, there's probably people out there that are current rapists and even current murderers or even thieves and druggies that all live out there that are getting their peaceful day. So for the protests and the things that are going on and the vandalism, just to be able to prove a point, it's like it makes you think as an outsider, like, okay, what is Mr. Dibble's true fear that he places upon these people? Because these people even a month ago weren't really fucking relevant. So it's kind of like, where does it come from and where does it stand? Especially if you can look at some of those people that are protesting, and in my head, when I see the videos, I'm like, whoa, that dude probably needs to register. You know what I'm saying? We're talking like, so I just wanted to say my piece. Good job, buddy. That was about it. And
it seems like, and he called you. He had a nickname for you, right?
Yeah, Chum Lee.
Yeah, that's right. From Pawn Stars.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, y'all got along pretty well. And was he not very confident that he was going to be able to prove he was innocent of the things that these people want him out of there for? Didn't he come across that way? And almost
and he was waiting until the sentencing or whatever to be able to openly express how he felt, or not how he felt, but how the evidence or whatever that he could actually finally disclose. But until the sentencing or whatever, he couldn't risk that or violate that.
Well, when he asked him if he understood everything, Mike sounded confused.
No, that was when he showed up, because it seemed from an outsider, it seemed that day that he showed up for court, things changed without him knowing about it.
Yeah, because he said 5 minutes ago. He said, he said, I just found out 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, so that means that he wasn't lying to all of us.
Right. So he was confident that wasn't going to be on his record or whatever, in the sentencing guidelines, they would not recommend registering. He knew that, and I think that was where that's going to exonerate me. Then it's a big deal.
And then the other questionable thing is that this, knowing how fast that some of the trolls, and I'm not going to say names or whatever, but there was certain individuals that were doing troll-like activity that were calling the court system and not instigating, but having that first contact with the court system, with the secretaries or whatever it may be. And me knowing that personally, from day one of the sentence, I was asking very clearly, what is page 22? When the judge put his sentence in, he excluded page 22. Whatever was on page 22, that whole page was excluded. Then the judge kind of, I think, got things mixed up with the the written of the plea deal or whatever himself, put an order in that violated the order, and then they put a motion back in to be able to fix it, because by that time trolls were most likely calling the court system saying, hey, this guy's on the internet, fucking, he's fucking not even supposed to be, he can't even have a fight. Was a teddy bear or something? Oh, wasn't it something fucking weird?
Yeah, when I called today, I gave her the case number, and she didn't even hesitate to say, is that Mr. Dibble? Swear to God.
So then they're obviously familiar with it. Like, that means, yeah.
At least 20 people have probably called about it for her to be that familiar with it.
Yeah. And I'll just say this from experience from the thing with the trolls. Do you mind if I break it out here like this? Good job, buddy. Like something that I know that goes on.
I love breaking news.
So
we got
the
Slab
29th
news right here. How about that? We got both of us.
the 29th of August, my year-long restraining order expired that had my ex-wife and my children involved with it. That was the 29th of last month. Due to trolls or family members, I don't know at this point, but due to certain text messages received and threats received, as of the 3rd of September, I was received yet another restraining order that had my children attached on it. So for 3 days, I was able to speak with my children and find out information.
Wow, dude.
During this time, I found out that my son is looking at some major criminal issues and was placed with his uncle, my brother.
Callie?
Yep. And he put him to work. He did everything. But because my son decided to reach out to me and have a life with his father after being put on probation and getting involved with gangs, because the system refuses to protect children, my 15-year-old son thought that if he left his uncle's house and made it to the job placement that next day in Yakima, Washington, which is over 140 some miles away, that he was going to be able to still keep his job. Guess what? That 15-year-old son showed up to work and he got fired and let go because he ran away.
I might have missed something. I don't understand what happened. Your son ran away instead of went to work?
No, he ran away to, like, Slab City News would be able to follow, I feel like, in this regard. Like, when you get set in.
Yeah, because we're co-hosting. I'm going to mute myself and let Slab City News ask, because I think he can get to it.
Yeah, I got you tight. Run that by me again.
So basically, my son reached out to me and knew that the restraining order was dropped. At that time, he basically reached out for help because what he specifically asked Slab was, I was told that you ran with the Black Disciples. Is that true? I was floored. That was something that I do not talk about. At that point, he then informed me that he was set in officially to something that I'm not going to refer to. And then he sent me a news article that had him involved with stealing multiple felonies along with guns. Long story short, a adult 23-year-old guy is looking at going to prison right now because he took the fall for one of the guns. Without me knowing it and without my son telling me, he was living with his uncle at that time. But in my son's mind, he had a job site to go to that next morning. And if he made it to the job site, he could be able to deal with his probation officer and probably try to be placed back with me. He ran away, or he didn't, I don't know if you call it run away or what, but at 3:00 in the morning, a opposite gang affiliate drove 300 miles one way and picked him up and drove him 160 miles to the job site. And at that point, he was basically fired because he ran away.
That's a long way to go for a job, 160 miles.
But he had my son's mindset. He has a debt that's owed on somebody's book in my son's mind. And nobody's hearing him say that. I was able to hear him say that. He is like
he thought he owed someone a debt.
he already has. He's already put. I guess there's. I didn't even know that fucking they have tablets and shit now in prison and jail. You can do tablet calls and fucking emails and shit. I didn't know that. My son, 15-year-old son, was telling me this, and he was telling me that he had to get a certain amount to this dude because that guy ended up taking the fall. And then if not, my son was looking at 15 years.
This story, it has so many like holes in it, and we need to go back from the very beginning. So I hear black gangster disciples, someone got charged, money on the books, and if there isn't money paid, your son could do 15 years. And then going to a job interview, but then he was staying with Tally.
That's his boss. His boss was Tally. That's what I'm saying, is that his uncle wasn't even able to hear him. His uncle didn't know that he was out at 3:00 in the morning in the yard. But then coincidentally, follow me on this. Coincidentally,
I'm following you
on
now.
the third, I get served a new year-long restraining order. And even if you read this, one child's been on the run for 9 months, and the other kid, it's only focused on me apparently going to kidnap this other kid, which is my youngest.
So where was your son staying at before he ran away to the job site to Tally's? Because I thought he was
Tally's. He was living with Tally.
Then how did he get to a job site 150 miles away?
Another gang member drove 300 miles from Pendleton, Oregon, I guess, to Spokane, Washington, and then picked him up and drove from Spokane to Yakima. But he picked him up at 3 a.m. in the morning out of Spokane.
Here's where the shadiness goes on. Why wouldn't he just wait until 5 in the morning and have his boss drive him to work, Tally, who he lives with?
That's what I'm saying.
Right. See, like at 3 a.m. when gang members pick other people up, bodies get hid. Gangster shit happens.
And that's what he was just investigated for something, but they cannot find the body apparently.
This is interesting. I know where that motherfucker's in the woods somewhere.
Now, keep in mind,
from Sean Talley's house to the job site, there's a body. We just figured that shit out.
My 15-year-old was explaining to me how Indian reservation laws work and how he's protected because he's white. They have no jurisdiction over him. That's what he was explaining to me.
Bullshit, bro. I seen my homeboy get drug away by the Indian reservation police.
No, here though, that's how it is though. If you're not from, like currently with the COVID stuff, if you go out to the reservation here, and if you're not just traveling straight through, and if you're caught at the casino or anything like that, you can get arrested because you're not supposed to be out there.
Damn. Wow.
But what I was saying in regards to the whole where I was tying that in was with knowing how certain trolls will call the courthouse and do certain things, and knowing how just coincidentally knowing my history with how deep shit goes, and knowing that the troll that now, and I don't know if you know this, Lab City, but somebody was actually arrested, the Joey Barnes that did everything to me, the account, that person was raided. They found fucking child pornography on that guy's computer. That wasn't even 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I guarantee.
So for everything to be A-okay, and the next thing you know, me get slapped with a restraining order.
Right.
It makes me wonder, like, what is and in the last year, my son had dreams of going to the Marines. He was going to be a Marine. And now he's telling me that there's no way that he can. Dad. He's like, Dad, I can't. I'm a felon.
Because he might have murdered somebody. They won't let him
No.
in the Marine.
He's already, I guess, got like 3 or 4 felonies, and they are the gun. I don't know everything, and it's upsetting that.
Hike. Can I rewind?
Yeah,
Said
yeah.
at one point that they can't find a body, and maybe you didn't mean to say it. Maybe you were reading like a
No.
book.
Okay, so just to let you know, I don't know if you guys, and I know you guys don't know this, but how crazy it gets before the state actually takes my kids. My kids have been taken 6 times in 3 different states. Every time removed from their mother. The last time, no joke, I got the paperwork to prove it. My children, after 3 days, the first day there was a call, there was a call of the 911 of kids finding a dead body. This is in the Valley of Spokane, Washington. Okay, you can leave me. Okay, so the cops show up. During that time, they interrogate my children. At that time, 15 and 11. During the interrogation, the things that the children were expressing was real due to a bloated body and how they were expressing poking the stick to the body and how the body reacted to it. The detectives felt that it was real. So they did search and rescue all that night. They released the kids that next morning, like at 6 in the morning, to the parents. At 9 o'clock in the morning, there was a call of 911 that a child was hit on a bicycle. The officer came again, found my youngest son in the area that was 3 miles away from his home. Returned him. At 2:10 in the morning, there was a 911 call from the husband, Jamie White, that shot up Sarah, and she was seizing from an overdose of methamphetamine. That's when the sheriff's officer actually took my kids. So in regards to the dead body,
They gave you some chances. They were like, a couple bodies, all right, man. But if somebody's on meth, we got to get the kids.
yeah, no, that's what they say. They say the drug addiction is more important than the kids. So every time the parents walk away with no charges.
Yeah,
That's the sad reality of it.
bodies.
But the dead,
So
the
was
body
an
thing.
actual dead body that was bloated, they were poking with the sticks. Did they find it?
That was years ago. So when my son said something about the he was investigated for the homicide, but there was no body found. That's from the probation officer. That's from after the news article that he sent me that he was involved with.
All right. News article he was involved with.
Like you Google it, and there's a big fucking article about the mother's, the parents' car getting fucking taken, and then now I have, for real, how do I say this? I have a choice that I have to make. And that choice has been limited because by this time, and I'm just saying this for in the future, whatever, and this is the Good Job Buddy show. He holds all rights to this video.
Oh, yeah, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
There comes a point that a parent in the pursuit of happiness and even the Constitution needs to override political bullshit. When I go to court the 17th, I feel that I have done everything appropriately the right way for so many years that I have no choice but to prove to a judge that has already damaged my children and kept me away from my kids that I knowingly and intentionally going to go in there and record him without his permission because it is a public building and he is a public servant. Whatever the repercussions come on the 17th, I will deal with. But if anybody ever sees this video or whatever, it was only meant to be able to make sure that my kids were taken care of. Bottom line. And that the judge has no jurisdiction nor any grounds under certain RCW codes to even place a restraining order upon me for the last year.
Hey, man, just got to ask you one little question here. You're not going to shoot a judge, right?
Absolutely not. I'm not going to. That's not.
You're
No.
killing fucking judges and killing yourself or anything, right? No, that's
No.
that's not where this is going. Okay, all right, good.
No, I'm just gonna make sure that I do record regardless of what the judge says.
Scared the
And,
fuck out of me there for a minute.
And
Insanity.
I
I'll
was like,
say this: that
not on this one.
you know what? Okay, this ain't something really to laugh about because in the future that might be used against me. But fuck around here, okay? At the last dependency, the results were what? My kids went back into the same situation. They fled another state, and not even a year later, they were already open case at another state, which made it okay. So bottom line, I got an assault too. What did the courts give me? The courts gave me fucking that I'm loony? That I did the right fucking thing? Like, what is a parent supposed to do when the system even tells you that you did the right thing, sir? But I'm sorry, the law's the law. We need to fucking sentence you. Like,
have you ever tried crystal meth?
Tried it.
Yeah, like just tried it.
I've tried that shit. Just
I
couple years.
I betted that like an hour ago.
No, I was used to be addicted to crystal.
Because I thought, man, I was like, man, my brain is fucking broken. I can't follow what he's saying. Like, it sounds like a lot of important things. And I'm like, why do it sounds like I just missed like 6 really important things. Like there's a body in one county, a body in another county, some crystal meth, and then and the judge.
Crystal meth.
I'm like, well, what part of this? I mean, goddamn, dude, it sounds like 3 movies.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been trying to explain to
back to back.
But what you asked was the body that was referred to with the communication that I recently had. Okay, now apparently there was an allegation of a murder that was involved with the guns that were found. Okay, this is all I'm getting. And then the news article did say there was 2 guns found. But because there's no body found, even though apparently there's allegations of they know who did it and where it happened, since there's no body found, they're not doing nothing about it. That's what I gathered from it.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't like how there's no body. Yeah. So, are you missing any guns?
Am I what?
Are you missing any of your guns? Or any of your guns got took or stolen or anything?
No, I've never had any.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know. I just didn't.
Oh, no. My kids have been. That's the thing is that I've been fighting parent alienation for years, like true parent alienation, and the whole reason why I brought this up was just because I know for a fact with the shit that I deal with the courts and the stuff that's been placed on me, I can assume what Mr. Dibble in that court county has to deal with so many people calling in and doing shit. That's where my whole perspective of that connection went. I didn't mean to get all twisted and sideways.
No, I still think that it could very well be that I just don't know what you're saying exactly. But I definitely heard a lot of things that I'm going to worry about. Like, wow, how's the outcome of that? What's going to happen with that? It sounds like a lot of things. It sounds like you have so many.
So let me ask you this. Good job, buddy. Let's just break it down to something simple. If you were presented something that was illegal documentation, okay, that was a act that was put in by a certain state, and in that act there was such wording as something that reflected either racial or directly putting somebody into a category. And for example, I'll use the example exactly. In the Washington Protection Order, under the Protection Act, in reference to being able to get one, it is not referred to as petitioner or defendant. It is referred to as she or her.
Okay, are you pausing? Did you stop?
No, that's what I'm. So would that bother you if you knew that the judicial system for that?
Oh, okay. So you're saying basically they already put she in there, and no man ever get beat up, right?
That's basically what they're implying. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not cool. I think Evan knows what you're saying. He's going to help understand it for me.
I'm stoned, dude. This is just amazing. So they make it she or her, and there's no him or
There's no option for that. In the Washington RCW code, it is specifically her or she.
yeah, so they're just automatically saying that the man is the aggressor.
Yes, and then you got to think, okay, my son ran away 2 days, I think, before I got served this restraining order. Now, in the restraining order, you can read it, and even from the first, like, when you hear somebody say something, and if they're under the influence, you can tell if either one, they're mentally delusional, or if they're under the influence and not having their stories right.
Right.
This restraining order, right off the bat, even if you read it, no judges should be just signing orders that jeopardize custody, jeopardize your constitutional rights, just because they say that the person can be held in perjury. But perjury can only come from a criminal case. A restraining order is a civil case, so there's no repercussions. Even if you prove perjury on a restraining order, there's no criminal punishments that come out of it because it's a civil case. You cannot make something criminal come out of civil.
Unless you defy the restraining order, then it would be criminal.
No, because that's the thing is that I even have orders right here showing that the state of Washington wanted me arrested back in April for violation of a restraining order. My local jurisdiction refused to arrest me because they know that I am not doing nothing wrong, and that they know that in the last 12 months, the kids' mother has sent the cops to my house 3 separate times, saying that I kidnapped them out of her house.
Oh man,
Huh.
gosh, seems like so many episodes of a TV show.
Yeah, man.
But
yeah, I'm still stuck with the stick in the dead body with the stick one with Ginger.
I think we just listened to the first season of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I think we did too. And then I was on meth.
But Slab, you even said something. You translated it the right way. Now you think about that. You said the other letter that was involved with that. When my son asked me, he just said, "Did you used to run with the Black Disciples?" Is what he said.
Did you use to run with
you? He was asking
Well, I don't
you.
want to. Yeah, he asked me that because apparently the person that was calling him his son, that's from a total different set, knew my name from back then. And so then I asked him, I said, "How old is this dude that you're running with?" And he says, "I don't know, maybe your age." And then after further talk, I looked into it. The dude's only like 20, 24, 25 maybe.
Okay, so your son was taken in by a different set of gangs, and now that's his dad, and his dad's 26.
And that's the dude that needs the money on the books or whatever.
That's so stupid. I
You're
would
wearing
be
the
like,
black
bro,
bandana. You're wearing the black bandana right here. I see it.
That's not, that's
you're a black disciple.
You can't dodge
You're
it, man.
albino.
albino. No.
Once you fight all the albinos and you get to the leader, it's tight.
Right there. Got the black bandana.
It's like that dude on 300 that comes out with the nipple rings and shit, stepping down.
Yeah.
Look like my arms were on backwards.
Okay, so how do you get in with the black disciples when you're clearly the whitest person on the panel?
Just have meetings at night.
Did they not know you were white?
It's COVID. He's got his mask on.
Did you do that?
Bandana all the way down.
Did you do this shit over the phone? Was this cameras on phones? Like, bro, I'm a disciple. How
I
did you
figured
get in?
out the pagers back then. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was the
No, seriously. How do you run with the black disciples?
I don't.
Are you sure you run with them or you run from them?
No. So in all reality, okay, what happened was I was like 12, 13 years old. Lived in the most redneck area you could probably think of in Eastern Oregon. Okay, this is God's honest truth. The most redneck, like, okay. Back then there was Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, NWA, Cypress Hill. You know, there was all of that plus that lifestyle that went along with it. So this family from California moved up to the area, and they were already connected with the cops. You could say like the cops obviously knew who they were before they even got established. So now looking back out of it, it could have been because they were also black and maybe they were worried about a black family moving into the community. I don't know. But we were all told that it was because they were gang members and they were shipped up there because of a result of murders or whatever. One of them was a second down whatever command for that set. So she turned around and she like initiated a whole bunch of people and made a whole bunch of crimes went down and stuff, and then all of the younger generation people basically got locked up and put away for it. That's how that went.
So were the people actually gang members that were moved up there, or was it you were in a red town and the cops were saying, "Hey, these people are gang members," just because the cops are probably racist?
They were certified.
Right. So then, did they how did you get in with the gang, or were you just like a hang around with some of the higher ups?
I was just the kid that hung out and fucking did the like shit that I thought would be fun if somebody needed something done, and if I thought it was fun, I'd do it. I wasn't ever trying to get into nothing, and I was never set in or put in nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
So I'm gonna throw this out at you, just by chance. Have you ever heard of, or what would you say if somebody came up to you and said that they were officially set into, say, Northwest Piru?
Well, that's a blood gang, right?
Well, I had a different reaction when I was told it, but to me, that's nothing. Like that's impossible.
And then the camera, baby.
I don't know what Northwest Piru is. I just heard what Piru. I thought it was a blood gang. I don't know what Northwest is. What's up, AMJM?
Hi. I thought it'd be I was like, oh, that's not Eddie. I came out here. I didn't mean to interrupt you guys' conversation, but I wanted to show you some of the stuff I did when I was there. And these, y'all can see it.
Believe in yourself.
And I did all the coloring on it.
Believe it or not, she got a felony for
that. And then this one says, I don't know.
No, it's good. Always.
Oh, you can see it. Always kiss me goodnight.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there we go. That one was for my husband. And last but not least, I just I did a lot of crafts, like I said last night, and I enjoy doing those, so it's fun. Something I found that I never knew I enjoyed doing, and so I had this, which was my daily. July, July, August, and September, because those were the months that I was gone for. And so I checked everything up, and I wrote birthdays on them, and I said potential graduation dates and doctor's appointments for my mom and for myself. Okay, so I just want to show you guys that. So back to your talking.
Amber, are you doing a journal or anything now? Since you're gonna be home?
Kind of. I did it in a, not like writing down everything every day, but I have a folder that I got, and the daily meditations were given to us every day. So I have all those through my book that I got, my folder, and I have stuff written. on a daily, but it's not exactly a journal form, if that makes sense. But it's something I would like to start doing because every day is a new day, and it'd be, down the road, I would like to read it. It's funny now because the paperwork I have, I did write little notes on, and as I was going back through this stuff, I was like, wow, check that out. That's cool. And I saw apparently I was really stressed out the one day because the whole page in my composition notebook, which is my half journal, said one day at a time in like ginormous letters. So I was like, oh, that must have been a not so good day. So going back through it, there's little things that I remember, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's cool. Yeah. And it's not good. No, that's why I said you're gonna need to help me out here.
In a few.
So did you do any like trust build relationship exercises?
I don't think so because I don't really know what that means.
Like did they have like the groups do like courses or whatever together that you guys had to figure out mentally or physically how to get through it?
Oh yeah, kind of. I mean, we had like a day where our class was about, we got a worksheet that said 99 days of coping skills. And so, and then one that was like 99 things that are positive, 99 things that are negative. And so that, what?
You got a boogie up in your nose instead of having to pick it out. You pop it out with the snot rocket. That's badass.
Gross. Sorry. It's all right. So we did things like that, we had our large lectures, and then we would do gender sessions. And that was wonderful because it is easier to say some things in front of women than it is saying it in front of men. Because men, you got sometimes your minds not in the right place. So, and then we had our own small groups where each counselor had like 5 to 7 people. And so we would do that also. And we had a lot of different exercises, and they were pretty fun. Like one day the historian read this story to us, and every time you heard the word left, you would have to pass the item in your hand to the left. And every time you heard right, you went to the right. Seems pretty simple. And we all had one item to start with. So by the end of it, we should have all had one item at the end. But it is, oh my Lord. These people are like, oh, what? Oh, and I was sitting next to an older man who.
That's the "Are you really a drug addict?" test. And at the end, one person has everything.
Yeah. It was my friend Dick. She had 7 things in her lap, and she was like, fuck it. She couldn't figure it out at all. So it was funny, but, we did things like that, lessons, and so that was cool. And then, some lectures that got pretty heavy and heated where, a lot of emotions came out, and we had Kleenex boxes almost on every table because they were used a lot. And I was just trying to think of one other one we did, but it's really not that exciting to talk about. But yeah, so we did that stuff, and we watched some recovery documentaries, which were really, really good.
Did you get personal, one-on-one with your counselors too, and able to?
Oh yeah, my one-on-one with my counselor. I know it's probably just weird of me to say, but I still think I had the best counselor, and that I was treated the best. But I hope everyone feels that way, that they feel like they've been treated the best and they have the best counselor. But I would meet with her every day, and it would sometimes be a 5-minute, just like checking in with me. Sometimes I'd be in there for an hour, and we would just be discussing things. So we had that too, and my counselor was so amazing. I think she truly helped me stay as focused and as inspired. That's the word I'm looking for. She had me so inspired. It was absolutely wonderful. I wrote her a thank you card the day before I left, and on my graduation day yesterday, I put it in her office on her desk. And then she called me in before graduation because we had to talk about a few things. And I was sitting there waiting for her while she was on the computer, and I looked, and my card was already hanging up on the side panel where her desk is. And I said, "That's so nice of you to put that up." And she said, "Oh yeah, this stuff's so important to me, but I don't want to take anything down because everything means so much." And I remembered then at the beginning when I went into counselors' offices, all of them, I would see all of these, letters, cards, drawings that were colored. One sign said hope, and it was colored and then signed. That shows that other people, like, it works. It works. Like they say, it works if you work it, and it don't if you don't. It proves that people have been successful through this program, as well as these counselors must be connecting pretty well with their clients. I don't even call it
What's the
clients.
kick out rate? I remember when I was in there, a lot of times people getting kicked out.
Yeah, there was one day at the very beginning where 8 people were discharged. 8. And one girl, if she didn't get the certificate, she was not going to get her children back for good. So she was pretty devastated when that happened. I have watched 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then the others say 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 people I've seen graduate, and we have a 42, usually around 42 people there. And so through me being there, only 17 people graduated, and 3 of them were yesterday. I mean, people they took off all the time. In the middle of the night, I'd walk down the hall to go to do some laundry, pick my laundry up, and there's a door that's open and gone. Nobody's in it. Sheets are all ruffled on the bed, and they left. They couldn't do it. A lot of people did like leave in the middle of the night. I think they thought that was the best, like nobody would notice or something. My gosh, and people were yeah.
They're not bound to stay there. They're going to lose.
Well, right. Yeah, because we all could walk out the door anytime we wanted to. That was always an option.
The one thing that I've stuck with, or that stuck with me through all the years, but the one thing that I still remember that was the most powerful in treatment for myself. We had this thing that was we had it once a week, and it was a candlelight gratitude meeting. And we would put a candle in the middle of the room, and all of us would get a pillow and lay down and face the candle, and just go around the circle and say what we're grateful for.
That's
And
really
that
cool.
even afterwards, like that's like I feel that's one of the most important things to be able to keep somebody's recovery and sanity is to always remember what you're grateful for. And
Yeah.
remember what you're grateful for will always override the stress.
Oh yeah, you're 100% right, and I like that activity. That's something we can even do down the road with Dempsey, Eddie, and myself. 3 of us just say what we're grateful for that way. And when you said lights, that was one of the things that one of the counselors used. He would say, "All right, so you get your light bill. You got money in your pocket, and once the story was done, it's like you're a month behind. You're okay with a month behind, but then the next one comes up, and you're gonna be disconnected. But you can just pay that 1 month, and so you're still now behind one." And he went through all these different things. I'm not gonna take you. At the end of it, he said, "And now you're sitting in a room with a bucket with candles in it, and that's the only light you have." And it was a really interesting way to describe how addicts' minds work and the way we manipulate every situation, or justify, I guess would be a lot better, to make it okay for whatever it is that we're doing. And I know I got good at that myself. Lori Walsh, hey, how are you? Oh, wow. I think you have spoken to me about some of that before, Lori, and I definitely will give you a call. A lot of people on here had wanted me to get in touch with them prior to me leaving over the year or so, and I just never felt comfortable doing it.
This is that part. People.
I know it is. So let's read the chat here. Oh wow, okay. That's about all we're at on here. And when Edward comes back out, I haven't got to go to bed. I was on my feet yesterday for 20 hours. And today we're getting to the 19 mark. And it's taking a toll on me because my bedtime's early and not late. So we got to get it. All of us have to get adapted to the new schedules and how we are going to take care of things. We're going to run the house and make sure we're all doing the right thing and have Dempsey on, a sleep schedule where I wake up an hour before him, or I guess I probably need like an hour and a half before him, and go to the women's morning meeting. And either when I get home, he'll be up with Eddie and they'll be making breakfast already, or I'll come home, make breakfast, and then wake Dempsey up. So we're changing all kinds of stuff. And I know I'm kind of boring because I haven't done this in a long time either. So he's back. Okay.
Every time you think he's asleep, he's not. That's what he said. Mad. I understand why. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Oh, I see you guys.
Watch this. Watch. I want to show you. No, watch this. Watch. What do I do? If you can't be here, then neither can I. Thank you all for coming. Respect the facts. Let's wait till we can see the facts. All right. And then we'll talk. All right. Thanks for the guests that came up. I'm sorry if it didn't go the way I wanted to. Vinny, praying for you, homeboy. You get through this, man. You can feel that love is coming from everywhere. We're all pulling for you to get back to healthy, man. Evan, stay safe with what you're doing, brother. I love what you're doing. And, if they want us to be teammates, so be it. And I just think that that's the attitude you need to have. And he's very brave. Everywhere he goes, he gets fucking blocked. Shit, they talk so much shit about him. Sean Talley putting up a video, showing him getting in a fight in a cage, thinking that is going to hurt somehow. It didn't. It just showed that motherfucker fights in cages. So maybe there's that. And I get the chance to fight him, not you. Boy, you wouldn't last a fucking minute anyway. But yeah, at least now I know if he gets me a chokehold, he will let it go when I tap. Before there was a question of whether he'd let it go, but he knows what he's up against too. You saw that thumbnail. 46 years old, still got all that shit coming. Still got all that shit coming down the railroad track. You gotta step back. You don't want to get whacked. I'm telling you that. Matter of fact. # facts. You can Google that.